6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is loose. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Test, test. Bueller? Can you guys... Okay, yeah, we're back live now. All right, what's going on, everybody? I was trying a new performance mode, and it was showing that we had no audio, but we do have audio, so we're good. AMD's fault it is. Man, oh man, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a thin ice stream, shall we say, for the AMD XTX. Yesterday's flight did not end well. We had a driver issue. I'm almost positive it was linked to Chrome because I had another crash today linked to Chrome. So Chrome might be dead to me more so than AMD, but we'll see how today handles. I did have another crash of the sim. When I was sitting here, I had everything loaded in, and I was trying to change the thumbnail in Chrome, and when I was using my editing software in Chrome, I could feel it lagging. It was making weird noises, and then it crashed again. So Chrome and AMD might not be compatible here. We'll see. I'm going to try not to open any Chrome stuff today. Hopefully we don't need it, but we're going to try the 330 yet again. It's a little bit different route today. You guys voted for it. We're going to go up to YUL, Toronto, Montreal, wherever YUL is. But it's snowing, it's low vis, it's cold. Should be a fun approach. A crosswind like 30 knots right there. And we're back on the 330 because now that we can fly the 330 with the XTX, I like it. I want to fly it more a little bit, especially since we're getting ready for another wide body 350 to drop, and I haven't been able to fly the 330 at all on channel because I didn't have the VRAM to do it. So now that we got the VRAM to do it, it's kind of fresh, right? A little bit new. So we're gonna give this a shot. It's gonna be a fun one. Countess to Tabernacle, what's up, Steven? Billy, thank you for the 23 months. Vodka's in the house. Joe, Zach Lewine, Aviation Dude, Aviation Blaze, good to see you all. Jeff All, Callie Simmer in the house, good to see you as well. Holden Dalton, what's up? Good to see you. And many more in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. And it should be a fun one. We haven't flown the 330 since we did the Cathay flight, and that was kind of more of a computer testing stream as far as instead of enjoying the simulator instead. So this one should be more fun, I think, for all parties involved. And let's go ahead and fire this bird up and get on our way. Should only be about an hour and a half. We were going to do a longer flight up to Toncontin. I was surprised y'all didn't want to vote for that, but we're not doing Toncontin. So, all right, look at that MD-11 spawned in next to us. Absolutely juicy. So let's hop into the flight deck. Here we are in the A330 in Chicago O'Hare. Say goodbye to your frames if you don't have 24 gigs or more of VRAM in this airport and this airplane. But let's go ahead and fire it up. Let's go battery 1, battery 2. My sim sounds are pretty low. Let me turn up your sim sounds. We can pretty much run the sim sounds at 100% because it's iniBuilds. And they have sound requirements to protect the children's ears on Xbox, is what I've been led to believe. So we got that firing up. Well, while that's booting up, let me see if I can boot my mini FCU software without crashing the sim. Yeah, Thomas Ray, the 330 is stupidly low. The volume is just too low, man. And but it's by design. They are limited in what they can produce volume-wise because they have to protect the ears of the Xbox users. So, Mickey G in the house, loading up for the 700-mile to Saika. Here's the thing, Mickey G. I know we could technically still fly from Saika, even though we had a crash, but it left such a bad taste in my mouth yesterday. I might do a members-only flight this evening, and I'm just going to fly the route again. I'm not going to publish it. It's not going to be a big stream. I'm so frustrated that we didn't get to our destination. I might just do it again. And it might just be a members only thing. It might just be a Discord thing. But for my own, I wanna complete that mission. We were so close. I could adjust the Hobbs time. I figured out how to do that in the Duke, so like put the time on it. But I don't want to do that. I just want to finish that flight. So that may or may not be later on today. It's a long flight, 2.5 hours en route, but like I said, it'll just be a members only thing, and it'll not gonna be a big stream ordeal or anything. I'm just gonna do it for my own sanity so I can feel that accomplishment. I just left such a bad taste in my mouth that the sim crashed when it did yesterday. Well, it wasn't the sim. In defense, let me be clear, there was not a Microsoft crash. It was a driver timeout error. Both monitors went blank. That was it. Shut everything off. So, all right, let's go ahead and fire up the rest of the airplane. Crew supplies coming on. We'll go Captain Pers, Captain on that. Let's get the 8 ears, 1, 2, and 3. That is in alignment. We'll go strobe auto, nav position 1, no smoking auto, arm the emergency exit lights. Where's the overhead lighting knob? I think it's on the pedestal, I guess. I'll do a fire test. What up, Infian, 16 months, glad to be here. Infian, my man, good to see you. The pro flight vlogger himself, man. Infian, good to see you. Anti-ice detected. Really? I'm going to go ahead and say fake news on the anti-ice being detected right now on the ground. That's suspect. All right, let's go ahead and go to our flight we've got here. We are Air Canada 357. We're set up to go. Look at the VTAR down there. 2 miles right now. 280 at 20. Gust 3-1. Should be a spicy one. Chicago, not much better. 270 at 12. Gust 20 though. Except that one's right down the pipe here, blasting off out of O'Hare. Shouldn't be an issue. Eddie, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Let me prepare some more American-made memes. Eddie, thanks for the $2 super chat. I tell you what, man, the American-made memes, they never get old. I love them, man. It's so funny. All right, I've downloaded the sim brief, and we're going to apply up to 5 minutes of the loading. So we're going to apply the load. That looks good. Let's hop down in the box. FM1 says align IRS. We already did. Let's go ahead and go to initialization. Let's pull our flight plan. That's us. O'Hare to CY. Where's CYUL? Yuma? What airport is this? I don't know my Canadian airports. We're going to go cost index of 99, though, because we ain't messing around. I also took maximum payload, so we're going to be very heavy. So we're going to be landing just under... We took basically as much payload as we could. So we're not going to be at max weight takeoff. We're 100,000 over for takeoff, but we are pretty darn heavy with as much as we could to get there legally with our fuel requirements. So Montreal, thank you. There we go, Montreal. We're going up to 36 Tropo. No, we're going 390 Tropos at 36. That looks good. O'Hare departures. Auto ATC's online. No Memphis Center, so we can plan to depart. If winds are 22, we'll go 27 left at Delta Delta. Let's use our Navigraph. What I have noticed, I think, at least it wasn't on the XTX issue, on the last stream. The Navigraph charts with my XTX seem to be a little bit better as far as lag is concerned, and as far as perf is concerned. So that is a plus. Let me adjust the sizings here. I wish this would save though. We'll do 130 on the sizing. There we go. All right, now we can unload that flight, import flight from SimBrief. We're not going to use any Chrome tabs. We're not using any Sky Vector. We're using none of that stuff. I might have to just get away from Chrome altogether if I'm going to be on this AMD train until Denali can pick me up a 5090. We'll see. All right, there is our flight plan. That looks good. Let's take a look at the taxi charts. There's no ATC, so we'll come up with our own departure runway. We know the winds are out of the west, though. Let's go full screen on that. I'll hide you. We're going to be on the O'Hare. Let's plan 27 or... It'll be, they might actually send us 27 left full length because we are going northbound. Let's plan 27 left full length, and because we're over here at the international terminal, so we'll go 27 left full length. I like that. O'Hare 8's a vector departure, so 27 left, no SID, insert, E-bake, it's a vector, all the way down to Montreal. Going into Montreal, I have no idea what we're going to get. If we look at our flight plan, there's got to be a quick way to see my route. I'm on the HAB 7, but what did I actually file? Like, there's no way to just see my actual route here. This is such a, I've said this since day one. This is way over-engineered. I know I could see down here we're on the HAB 7. Let's just put that in there. HAB 7. Winds we said are probably 2-4 left. We'll go 2-4 left on the HABs. HAB 7. Approach via... You have to press auto route. No, I already have a route filed. I just want to see... Oh, there we go. See, it's so dumb. It should have your route right here. SimBrief people or Navigraph people, come on, get some pilots in here and actually make this useful instead of having to do this nonsense. We're on the HABA 7 off of Miglo. All right, HABA 7, Miglo, that looks good. We'll insert that. We'll keep the disco in there, and that should be good for our flight plan. For our secondary, let's initialize a quick and dirty return back to O'Hare, should we pop an engine here. O'Hare to O'Hare, all we care about in the secondary is the perf data. Let's take the longest runway coming back with the west wind. It's going to be 27 left, 3,500 meters. Secondary perf data. Boom, boom, boom. I just opened the brief PDF in Navigraph for the routing. I opened the brief PDF. Yeah, but then that opens up Chrome for me. And I don't want to open up Chrome anymore. I used to, but I'm done now. I'm not using Chrome ever again on stream. It's dead to me. Temperature off the ECAM, it's not showing. That's a little bit weird. It's probably cold. Let's just call it 10C. It's not going to matter. Let's do a Magic Barrel ref 1026 with the Canadian QNH 1026. We'll throw that in here as well. Secondary is done. RadNav, this one does make a difference here, which is GCO for some reason. Will it take it? Yeah, it will. 108.25, I believe, on the O'Hare 8. If I look at the SIDS, we have to look at the O'Hare 8 departure, and it is GCO. Don't ask me why it's called GCO. AVO Mayor, thank you so much for joining the channel, becoming a commercial pilot, my friend. Welcome. Appreciate the support. Brave or Firefox? I might. Thorium? I'll have to try. Firefox just seems so ooh. Isn't that like an Apple thing? And doesn't that crash YouTube? I'm going to need YouTube to be working, though. That's the thing. I still have to run Chrome on my second monitor for the YouTube window and chat. Anyway, GCO is what we got out of here, and we've got a 3 and 4 restriction. All right, there's our GPS primary. So what we can do here, let's put O here right here, and a couple things we're going to do. Perf and init-B. We'll come back to this when it's done. Let's finish loading the box properly, though. So let's go fix info. I know this works because we did a heck of a fix info situation on that stream to Kai Tech, and it worked out wonderfully. So we'll do a 5 and 8 DME ring here. We'll do a radius of 5. We'll go next. GCO, Gordon County, 8 for the radius. So that'll be on our fix info page. And in RadNav, we've hard-tuned GCO. That should actually be large. It should be a large font, not a small font, but semantics. All right, block fuel. Let's make sure that is completed. We do have 34.7 on board. It is balanced, so we'll go 34.7 right here. We'll come up to the overhead. We'll get all fuel tank pumps on. With all fuel tank pumps on, let's get the APU fired up. Paxman tempted to ask why. What's that? Why I don't want to use Chrome? Because Chrome, it crashed the sim, man. It crashed the sim yesterday. But it's a AMD problem with Chrome. I never had Chrome give me issues before with my NVIDIA card. But what I had to do when I'm hoping that it's going to fix the error is the Google Chrome has that, what is it, like hardware driver something performance setting, and it's been confirmed to cause a driver timeout. So I turned off that performance thing in Google Chrome, but it really slows down my Chrome now too, which is interesting. Hardware acceleration, that's what it is. Yeah, so now my Chrome is like super laggy. I don't know, man. Maybe I just need a 5090. Fun fact, the 330 has old Singapore Airlines config in it. Nice. Because it's bloatware. I've been using Firefox for 15 years or so. I might have to take a look into it. I'll poll to see what y'all use. I'm just used to Chrome because I've used it for so long, but it may be time. It may be time to take Chrome out behind the barn and shoot it. But it was right, I think it was a combination of opening Chrome and loading the Iveo Premium map. That website is so like archaic, and it was right when I was trying to slew the map around. I could see the screen like flickering, and it went kaput. So I'm 90% sure that is what caused it. That premium map, Nabil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what caused it, because I saw it happening on that browser first. I looked back at the stream. It didn't show up on the stream, but that's why I'm fairly confident that was our issue. We'll go ahead and disconnect from the external power. That looks good. We'll get the chrono on. We're going to go VOR. Flight directors are coming online. FD1, FD2. No ATC. Let's set our top altitude. Flight level 390. Why are we vertical sped? Let's go ahead and reset the flight directors. Still vertical speed 0. That's because maybe you want the rest of the weights. We should be loaded up. That looks good. Perf speeds. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up our perf speeds. Our load has been applied. Looks like we are burning slowly there, the live gross weight. That's the APU. So with that done, we'll go to ground connections. Let's go ahead and close the cargo doors. Let's go ahead and pull the chocks, which I can't do from here. We'll toggle the GPU. I'm going to go outside and pull the chocks because for some reason they glitch out here. Alright, chocks have been pulled. Ooh, another air can. Wait a second. Why do I have snow on the ground? Why are we... Why are we accumulating snow on the ground in Chicago in a sunny day? Am I missing something? Yeah, it's cold AF, but there's no precip. There's not a cloud in the sky, my man. Ice Detect was not fake news. That is very interesting. Look at our wing. Our wing looks completely... Let's take a look at this wing. Come over here. Oh, dude, we may not be able to take off. They want to make sure you're ready for Montreal. Dude, that's wild. I'm going to put this on Q&A or else I'm going to lose my mind. All right, everything has been pulled. Let's take a look at the takeoff performance. We said we're going to be blasting off of runway 27 left. Will you just not sync? You will. 27 left dry, 3010 config. How are we doing on the likes today? Only 105 likes. That's unacceptable. So we're going to go ahead and do packs on takeoff unless we hit 250 before takeoff. We will force Toga yoke, though, because I am not a savage. We will do that here on the channel. We'll calculate. Second segment limitation at runway length. All right, let's take a look at these speeds. Before we do, Cody Schultz, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Cody. I appreciate you, my friend. Very, very kind. If you pick up a membership from Cody, make sure you shout him out and say thank you. Now, I don't know why this is, and I do apologize. I missed a bank angle check from the last stream as well. I can't get my alert box audio to play. I don't know if you guys ever hear the audio, but I don't hear alert box audio right now. Do you guys hear alert box audio going off as the little seatbelt sign ding or anything? I do not hear it anymore. I've set up the sound settings correct. Just gremlins. I may have to wipe it and start over with all of my OBS settings. I'm just not sure why the alert box decided to go away. So I don't know. I've done everything on my end to make it look like it works. That's why I even was messing around before the stream, and I thought we didn't have any audio, but we do. It's just weird. All right, 48, 60, 61. 48, 60, 61. Does it sync over? No, not allowed. Okay, 148, 160, 161, and I missed the flap. What was our flap? Flap is config 1 plus F. Config 1 plus F and a THS of 4.3. So we're going to go 1/up 4.3. That seems a lot, like a lot. We're going to do a Toga takeoff, 27 left. All right, perf is set. Let's get the APU bleed on. Let's get our beacon light on. Let's run a CTAF from Chicago.CTAF. KORD is 120.75. 120.75. We might have to run some anti-ice on the ground unrealistically here. Can I get a radio check on 2075?
I got you.
All right, cool. Chrome has a habit of not releasing resources in some circumstance that cause driver to wait for available resources. Yeah, Chrome is dead to me, Al. I think it's dead to me. All right, we got our 3 minutes. We'll get rid of that. We're ready to start. Let's close the doors and arm them. So we're gonna close all. I think they already are closed, and there's no arming necessary. So let's go ahead and proceed aft. Aft pushback started, cockpit to ground, brakes released, clear to push. Beacons on. Let's get our cams online. Well, that is interesting. Side stick cam is dead. What in tarnation? There we go. AMD, you're on thin ice, my friend. You are on thin ice. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we are. We're going to touch tips with that MD-11. I'll turn out to the right. I'll make a right-hand turn. We'll double back. Pushback, stop, cockpit to ground, set brakes. Brakes are set, clear to disconnect. Show me the pin out front. We're going to go ahead and start engine number 1. All right, a little bit of chop on the ground here. A little bit of chop on the ground. O'Hare and a 330. Come on now. It's like maximum VRAM issues. We got to fly the Fenix just so we can see how much better optimized the Fenix is. It's pretty incredible. All right, let's go ahead and start up. Tiny tiller cam. What's wrong? Tiller cam's the same. USB power settings. Yeah, that's an AMD issue, man. I've had AMD USB settings since I started this PC. Why are we not getting any... Oh, you know why? Because I don't have it on ignition start. Here we go. Default Chicago, Nabil. Yeah, default Chicago, man. Default everything. Until Marketplace works, I ain't putting any of this fake news sceneries that are compatible. The engines on the 330 still spin the wrong way. It does look like it's spinning backwards, doesn't it? Do I watch Stig? Sometimes I fall asleep to Stig, man. Yeah, the fan is definitely spinning the wrong way. Now, whoever said that, you just ruined that for me. So thank you for ruining that engine view. You have ruined that view for me now. Once you see that, you can't unsee it. My brain hurts. Love the engine startup sounds. This is what we call the A330 Neo from iniBuilds. It's the no engine sound, no engine option. Phil, we're going to have to watch to see if the #1 engine spins correctly. These are electric motored. This is the electric power 330 from iniBuilds. I'm really hoping... Well, I know that their 350 sounds better because I watched that stream that they had, and that stream looked pretty good. We got an avail light. All right, so let's go ahead and start engine 1. Let's just see if this turns the right way. Their start sounds on the 350 looked way better, sounded way better, I should say. All right, how are you going to turn? Nope, you're turning the wrong way, too. Good night. I can't even hear it, and the sim sounds are pretty much maxed. Have I shifted to the AMD GPU now permanently? I have. I have no other GPU. I sold my 4080 yesterday, and then AMD crashed on me on the stream, so I may be regretting that. If I can get on a 5090, I might still do it. Dougal says they have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Yeah, their 50-50 is not doing so hot, is it, Dougal? Hope you're doing well, man. Hopefully the 350 engines spin the right way. I know, Ramon Thompson needs to be banned for showing us that. Now that view is completely ruined for me, and for all simmers alike. Justin, I know, man. The only thing I could say about the 300 is maybe because it's their standalone product. The A300 Premium has pretty darn good sound. I mean, I call them, I'd say they are good sounds on the A300 Premium. I say Premium because I haven't flown the other one. I don't know if it's the same or not. But the A300 that I've been flying sounds pretty good. So it's just a shame that we don't have it on the 330. All right, let's go ahead and reset our flight directors now that our speeds are set. We're going to go flight directors off. All right, climb nav blue, 1 FD2. We got 2 good starts. Let's go ahead and move you back to there. Arm the speed brakes, flaps 1. A little bit of a stutter when I move views, but as long as we can have a smooth taxi out experience, I will accept that. All right, flaps 1 plus F. Let's do a flight control check here while we're sitting on the ground. Let's go flight controls, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, it was way too fast, full right, neutral. Let's go auto brakes, max, takeoff config is checked, that's up, let's go on, auto, TARA, oh, I did forget to put the auto ATC in there, it's 0564, 0564, on 1, we'll go on, above, TARA, 0564 is checked. I guess I'll turn off the weather radar because it's clear in a million. We don't need to waste frames. All right. Chicago traffic, Air Canada 357 heavy, taxiing 27 left, Chicago. All right, APU's coming down, taxi lights coming on, brakes released. Clear right. See if we can't make this tight right turn here. Time to go piss off Joe Plains Iceman at Ray. You're right, AJ. We need to go hit up Joe Plains Tower Ray at the ice booth. Oh, that MD-11 taxied out. Oh, all right. Well, I probably could have followed him out to the left, but we'll see if we can't make a tight right turn here. Man, the sounds are so quiet. this thing's turning pretty good. Airbus Dyson partnership. All right, we made the turn. I'm going to see if we can do an unrealistic de-icing of the aircraft here. Just because since we have ice accumulation that would not be there, I'm going to just do a anti-ice on the ground so we can get airborne here. Oh, Matty K, if we got a Boris revamp on the 330, that would be awesome. He should definitely do that before 330 stop flying too. Yep, Storm, the FS sounds are set to 80. I'll bump them up even more. Oh, so you guys keep asking me to keep clicking screens over here. We get those. Sounds are set to max on the sound mixer. All right, takeoff config is checked. No, it's not. I don't know why it's saying test. There we go, takeoff config normal. Nah, that stutter is when I'm changing screens. Now this is interesting. Are we going to be able to taxi over this? This appears to be a bridge. There goes that MD-11. What is this situation here? It might be a Slustavo time here. Let's see what happens. Let's go slowly. Do you think, can I get through there? Is it collidable? Surely it's not collidable. I don't want to crash though, so let's just go real slow. Okay. Wait, it's moving. It's getting higher. Oh my gosh. Microsoft. Still better in 2020. Like butter. Give way to oncoming trains. That is indeed not real life, chat. That is indeed not real life. Alright. Let's get out of here. Chicago traffic, Air Canada 357 Heavy, departing runway 27 left out to the north. Chicago. Alright, let's go ahead and get the engine anti-ice off because we don't need those strobe. Landing lights, turn-off lights are coming up. Boom, boom, boom. 27 left. Thanks for the $3 super chat, AJ. Is this real life? No. Nope. Got me there, AJ. That indeed is not real life. Wow, this airplane is just so poorly optimized. I can't believe we're getting stutters like that. That was a real stutter there on the ground. Hopefully, it'll be better in Montreal. All right. Let's go ahead and spool them up 50. Yoga's in chat. I don't know what this is going to sound like. Probably nothing. Ugh. Yoga. This is a runway. Oh, it's not a runway. It's a runway now. It's a runway now, chat. I'm pulling an XP on this one. I don't have the patience for the stutters on the ground with this airplane. It's a runway now, baby. V1. Rotate. It was a runway. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Well, that might be a first for the channel. Good night. Look how slow the gear is, though. That is pretty cool. Certified Turkish Airlines 330 at a Newark moment. Oh my goodness, man. Thrust climb, climb. Anti-ice detected. Okay, since the Zoba wants to say there's ice with a 0 precipitation, we'll play their game. Let's go ahead, right turn, 010, flap 0. After takeoff checklist. Mickey G, thank you for the $10 super chat. Cue the green dot music. Oh my gosh, Mickey. Yep, cue the green dot music indeed, my man. Let's keep this right turn all the way around. 080. Barry Seals flying Fair Canada now. Thank you, Eddie, for the $2 super chat. Look, man, when my engines turn the wrong way and I'm taking up 24 gigabytes of VRAM just sitting on the ground, and I got to taxi through bridges on my taxi out, the realism left the chat at the gate, my friend. So, at that point, I could care less if we took off from a runway or we took off from a train track. Alexandra Bellini, thank you for the 10 gifted membership bomb. Very, very kind. Appreciate you. If you pick up a membership from Alexandra Bellini, you say thank you. Supporting this mayhem that is V1 Nation, man. Unbelievable. Listen though. It's still better than 2020, y'all. Still better than 2020. Now, I don't know why there's still snow on the roofs out here. Did it snow in Chicago anytime recently? Bernard, thank you for the £3. Appreciate you. Al W, look, I'm here. I'm speeding through 10 or 8. Yeah, speeding. We have a number for you to call. Thank you, Al. Appreciate the $2 super chat, my man. Unreal. What a cluster of a departure that was. All right, let's go ahead and give ourselves a direct to eBake. All right, there's open climb, navin, bank angle check to the left. Remember when this guy took off across all the runways? Oh, listen. I can't. After I had, one engine turning the wrong way was one thing. 2 engines turning the wrong way was another thing. And then when I had a taxi across a freaking wall that should be a bridge, that was it. My soul died. The stream died. Steven, thank you for $10 super chat as well, man. V1 is just simulating O'Hare vintage ops by departing off the 3.2s. Oh, dude. I appreciate you, Steven. Exactly. That's what I was trying to do, y'all. I was trying to do vintage O'Hare ops, all right? What's wrong with vintage O'Hare ops? That was a runway back in the day. Here, look. This is real life, chat. Ignore everything that happened. This is real life. Look at these sky colors. Oh, my goodness. So much juice. Look at that downtown Chicago morphing in there. Gotta love it. I'm still pissed about yesterday. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm still a little bit ornery about yesterday's situation? Mickey G was like, surely he's not taking off, is he? I realized it after we lined up. I was hoping that no one would realize it. But once I had spooled him up 50, I was like, I'm not gonna do more stutters to change the view back to the front to go back to taxiing. So I just sent it. That was, if you really want to know what was going on through my brain, that was the breaking moment. I moved to wing view, and I knew at that point that I wasn't on a runway. But I was like, I don't want to deal with stuttering views again, going back up to cockpit view, and then having to taxi. So I was hoping that I could sneak one by y'all. but that was not possible. You guys are too good. Anyway, we're climbing out. Let's go AP1. Let's go live cam, and let's enjoy the real life climb out views here. I'm getting a spam call too. AMD forced me to take off on a taxiway. Yeah, we'll chalk that up to AMD, and we'll have to get another emoji. We're going to call it AMD made me do it. It's AMD's fault. Hold on, why am my phone is blowing up right now? Stand by, making sure everything's fine. All right. I have wing flex on the right. Yeah, I have a mod from the Flight Sim TO to fix the wing flex. That's the other thing if you want to talk about realism. All right, I'm going to turn you guys back down to like 55%. Gosh, that sounds so bad from up front. Come on, that sounds so bad from up front. Come on, iniBuilds. I know you can do better. The A300 sounds great. It ruins that outside view for me. The water makes up for it a lot. Let's enjoy the water. Do you guys remember having to get a bunch of plugins for waves? And remember when FSX, well, I think FSX was the first one to show white caps on the surface. Look at this. We've got the shadows through the water. I mean, this just looks so good. Doesn't look as good on that side. This side looks like FSX. This side looks like Microsoft Flight Sim. Drew Smith, very kind of you, sir. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships to the channel. Appreciate you. If you've joined Team Green on this mayhem, I do apologize that you had to join on a mayhem stream, but it's only going to get better as we fly up into the snow-covered Montreal airport.
Chicago traffic in Canada 331, taking position 27 left.
A300 sounds least Texas septic water. iniBuilds only does as much as the default plans as Microsoft pay them for. And I could understand that. I mean, it's a business, right? We're through 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and pull standard. STDs are set once, twice, and thrice. Let's go ahead and turn off the NIs and see if it fixes itself. Now we shouldn't be accumulating any ice. Up to 390. Ah, this is still a good view. Come on now. Come on now. It was a rough departure sequence. Let's enjoy this. I don't think it's an AMD problem. I think it's a V1 Sim problem. The only way you're going to get a 5090 is by buying a new PC, which it seems you need it anyways. I tell you what, Josh. If Intel can figure out their new the new i9 to stop it from catching fire and be more stable, I would go to Intel again. I've never had, I want to say, problems. They're just like, I feel like AMD requires you to do a lot more tweaking. On my Intel rigs, man, every USB port worked, every sound thing worked, except the sound audio mixing. That was very, very strange when I had my 4080 Super on this PC, then I put this card in there. All my audio works wonderfully, except I don't have an alert box, which, whatever, small price to pay. But, and I'm sure I could fix it by just probably redoing the whole alert box. But there's just like, and then you got to do this, you got to tweak this, you got to do this. I don't know. There was a reason I haven't had an AMD situation since 2006. I can't find a 5090 for less than 3K. Yeah, that's crazy. 3K is actually not that bad if that's shipped, but I've seen them for like $4,000, $5,000 on the online. Cap, we have more than 20 Audiplex micro with bad processors. Lucky we got 3-year warranty on all our PCs. Oof. Intel might go dead unless the U.S. government saves them. Well, what's interesting is it said that somebody was saying that AMD is not really pursuing ultra high-end GPUs, right? I guess they can't compete. I wish that they would. I wish that they would. I mean, I guess I wish they would just continue like this series, this XTX is great, 24 gigs. They should make one with 32 gigs. You know, just up the VRAM. That's all you need to do to compete. Up the VRAM. And maybe get rid of some of the stabilization issues. Because when I started Googling for AMD driver timeout errors, apparently this has been going on for quite some time. So I'm not the first one, nor am I the only one that's had a driver timeout issue. And I know you guys are saying, DDU, DDU. If it happens again, I might do the DDU route, but I don't believe that that's the problem. I only had one driver, one card, never updated it, uninstalled it, deleted it, never installed any of the NVIDIA bloatware, did a fresh install of my AMD driver. So I do not think it's a driver issue. I think it's something else happening because it's been linked to Chrome, it's been linked to other like Bitdefender, which I don't run. It's been linked to a couple other things. And I think that might be what I was subject to. Key 6, you just got a replacement i9 from Intel? Wow, so yours actually went out. That's crazy, man. I was so close. I mean, I got to hand it to y'all that helped me in the hardware section. I was really going to build an Intel computer, and you guys were the one. I had no idea what was going on. So for those of you that participate in the hardware section of the Discord, I appreciate you for real, because I really had. I was just going to do what I always did, go Intel the whole way. 128 gigabyte VRAM when? That would be nice, right? What chips in the real aircraft computers? Intel Celeron processors on the Airbus. At least it used to be on the old. I don't know what they've changed to now. We could go back to 22.8 for Unicom. So go ahead and select 22.8. 22.8 is up. We're climbing out nicely, 1,400 feet a minute. Oh man, there we go. What happened, Jason, you brought up a point. So what happened to the SLI thing? Because I remember guys were running, what was it, the 1070s or 1080s in tandem? Like, why can't you run two GPUs in? Why is that not like really a good idea anymore? I never got into it, but I remember that was a thing at one point. My buddy flies 7.3s now. He was all about it. It was so terrible and discontinued it, really. It used to both GPU, but you didn't have double. Oh, you didn't have double the VRAM? Ah, that's unfortunate. See, I was thinking, well, you could double the VRAM up. Key 6 had dual SLI back in the day? Heck yeah, man. Well, I think 24 gigabytes should be the standard for VRAM moving forward, especially if you're in 2K. 1080p, and I keep saying it because I'm in 2K, but if you're in 1080p, I think you'd probably be fine. Hell, I might have to go back to 1080p. We'll see here. We will see. I mean, now it's smooth as butter. Smooth as butter up here. That default Chicago is really tough for me too on performance. Diminishing returns with the size of these cards makes it kind of hard for proper urban. Yeah, I can see that too happening. Flight Sim School. What's really crazy is, man, the XTX that I have now is quite literally half the size of my 4080 Super. My 4080 Super, I should have taken a picture. I mean, it was probably 4 or 5 inches thick. Probably at least 5 inches thick. Probably about 5 inches thick. Just a massive card. This one's maybe 2. FS Dream Team Chicago runs better. Oh, see, this is why this is why we put up with all this nonsense. Look at this view right here, Chad. Come on now. Nabil, where you at, my man? This, ladies and gentlemen, is real life. Running 2 GPUs is like trying to deal with 2 girls at the same time. You can't have the same performance. Oh my gosh. Have you done any temp or power measurements with the new card? Nope. I've monitored it, Cody. after like a 3-hour stream in the 380, I think the highest temp was 60 something. I can't remember. I looked at it on stream. I know it was nowhere near. I think somebody said it could go up to 80 before you got a concern. I was nowhere near there. I don't think I've got above 60 something. O'Hare Tower is tough for me on the default 172, but I have 10 gigabytes. I had installed 24. Joe Plains, really? Oh, bummer, man. ...2020 with Active Sky and Rex Atmos. I have proof. If you guys don't want to believe me, I have proof from Full Flap Sim that he said 2024 is better. He texted me. I took a screenshot. Because he was flying the T6 Texan around. And he told me, only between you and I, 2024 is superior. I keeping receipts, man. I'm keeping receipts. Oof, that's loud outside. Air Canada on the 330 looks great, though. I will say that. That is a hot-looking livery. A 5090 SLI. Man, you would need like dedicated power supply units to each card. What if a flight computer dies in flight? What's the result for the pilots? Well, you can lose up to like 5 computers without having a single reversion. So there is a lot of redundancy. Speaking of flight control computers, how many we got in the 330? So primary, secondary, sec 2, prime 3. So there's actually less. There's actually less flight control computers in this one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the bus, we've got, how many do we have in the Airbus? I should know this. 2 secs, 3 secs, 2 secs, 2 facs. And you can fail one of each. Where you start getting a degradation is when you start to have a loss of multiple redundancies. So when the redundancies start to fail, then you get, now you're going to be degrading into alternate law and direct law. Well, since you sold the 48 to someone else, I probably won't upgrade my GPU till EVGA makes graphics cards get. Josh, I sent you a DM, dude. You never responded. I sent you a DM. But here's the other thing, too, is I wanted to sell locally because I didn't have a box, and I didn't want to ship it. Shipping a GPU is kind of like sus for me. I don't want anyone to get something broken. So I really wanted to sell to someone local. And, I mean, it just, yeah, yesterday, straight up, $1,400. Cash, and delivered it to him 20 minutes away. So it's pretty wild, because I wasn't even going to charge. If he wanted a discount, I was going to say, all right, I'll take $1,200 or $1,100, but I was shocked I got $1,400 for it. I mean, I had a lot of offers too. I put it up on Facebook Marketplace and probably had 6 or 7 legit offers. One guy wanted it, but he wouldn't be able to pick it up for another week, and I was like, well, I'm not going to hold it for you, but if it's still here in a week, it's yours. The XLR is somewhat like this. They've eliminated Sec 3 and the fax and incorporated the majority of those functions to ELAC 2. Interesting, Chris. I guess that's an XLR specific. 1,400? Venmo me some of that. Well, Mickey G, I got to put it back because I went to the... I'm reinvesting it into the sim hardware. Don't worry, y'all. It goes back into the channel. Did you see the bird strike animations? Yes, I did, Austin Gray. The 350 bird strike animation looked pretty sweet. Has there been any plans or news for new airline manufacturers? Just Airbus and Boeing, man. No one's going to be doing anything new for a while. I'll be retired or dead and gone by the time the Boom Supersonic actually takes flight in a real airplane. You know what else has had bird strikes for years? What? Citations from behind? The rudder has no mechanical linkages. It's an E-rudder. Oh, yeah, Chris Cook Robinson. So we have those. We have the E-rudders in option, too, for just some of the straight-up Neos, because we have E-rudder on a couple Neos. But I guess it must be standard then on the XLR. Air Canada livery on the MAX Canadian. I agree with you, too, man. I didn't know ice shedding on the Fenix was this serious. I lost #1 engine 5 seconds after Toga takeoff. Hopefully you had your secondary set up, P. Jazzy. Who said the table saw comment? Where's that? I gotta go back to this. I feel like the front engine sounds are genuine recordings of a vintage table saw. You might be right, Maddie K. I'm getting memories of my grandfather using a table saw from like 1970 in the garage, and you hear woof. That's bad, man. What's crazy though is, come on, the 300 is good. There you go. There's a Canadian commercial for you. That front engine sound is just, yeah. It's all right though. I think this is an exciting time though, because I really think iniBuilds has taken this 350 it's their most serious release. I think more so than the 300. I mean, the 300 put them on the map, right, all the way back to X-Plane. Then they got in with Microsoft. You know, we've got the A300, which is, you know, like an updated version of what they originally worked on. We've got their freeware 321 and of course the 330s now. But I really think this is their opportunity to really cement their reputation and how they're going to be as a standalone dev when they make their own product. So the A350, and that's what, it's their own product, right? So they can do the own audios. They're not handcuffed by Microsoft. And what they want from them, this is their product that's coming out with the 350. So I'm very excited. And what I've seen so far, I mean, it looks better than anything that we have from iniBuilds so far. So I'm excited. I think, does anybody get a release date yet? I think it's supposed to be sooner than later, right? But that 350 will be the standard at which everyone judges iniBuilds from. I really want to see what iniBuilds can do with the 220. Ah, man, I feel like that's so far off. Last week of Feb, 24th to 28th. Tim K, I'm hoping the L1011 follows suit of the 350. I hope they take everything they learned from the A300, A310, stuff that they learned from the 350, which is going to be kind of, I mean, I don't know how you can really compare 350 to the L10. I don't know what you can take from that. Maybe just some optimizations if they've re-optimized, but I hope that L1011 follows suit as a solid standalone product. Last week of Feb. The standard we judge everyone else on. You're absolutely right, Blue Games. Hey, Blue, good to see you, man. Blue Games, I wanted to fly out of your airport scenery in the Piaggio, but I can't get my P180 in Microsoft 24. I only have it in 2020, and that sim's dead to me. So as soon as I can get my P180 and my Avanti in 2024, man, we're going to take a look at your airport. It looks like a sweet little setup you made up down there. My thing about engines is that some engines sounding bad compared to others need a lot of help so they sound good. Are there references on how the Trent 700 sound at this power setting? I'm not sure, Ish. And the thing is, I don't care how devs get sounds, because there are developers out there that make good sounds for their engines by stock. PMDG, I think, was good by default. Now Boris obviously blew that out of the park, but they had pretty good sounds by default. Fenix has incredible sounds by default. What else do we got? I think the Fila sounds in X-Plane were really good by default. I think they're some of the best sounds in X-Plane we consider default. Black Square sounds are all good. So there are developers out there that make good engine sounds by default. So to say that, oh, well, they just can't get the recording at this power setting, I don't really buy that as an excuse, because it's not like the 330s are defunct and the 330s aren't flying anymore. They're still flying plenty of them. Dougal says, I know someone using the 180 and 24. Oh, Dougal, so the only thing I saw is if you're on the update. If you're on Sim Update 1 beta, people are getting their 180, their Avantis from 2020 over. But I don't have the beta. I don't know if I should jump on the beta or not. I'm really tempted to, but I don't know, man. I've never really streamed or flown betas because I've just been burned too many times in the past. So, but I did hear that that's what folks are getting their Avantis on. All right, let's put in our prog CYUL. We level off here at 39,000 feet. Recommended is 46, optimum 38, cruising 39. So that is good. I think it's a smooth ride. Let's take a look out here. We getting a smooth ride? Get those seatbelts off here pretty soon. It's far better than the current state of 24. Really, Merc? Now, Mark, I read something, or maybe I saw something about the beta where like there's a possibility if you do it, because I'm not on Steam. I went through Microsoft Store. So I thought there was something on the beta where like I could lose everything that I've installed and everything that I've set up, like bindings wise. I heard that that was a risk. If that's a risk, I just don't know if it's worth it for me. I mean, how much worse can it get than the current stable version? Well, Blue, wiping all of my controls and losing all of my add-ons would be worse. Especially my Dukes. Oh, so yeah, you're on Steam and Bo's on Steam. Yeah, if you're on Steam, I heard it's real simple. You just can click over to the beta. But I'm not on Steam, so I think that's why. When is the beta supposed to come out? It's delayed too, right? Logan Aviation, thank you for the $5 super chat, my man. I literally just stepped off this exact Airbus 330 2 hours ago. Nice. CGHKC was the tail number. I flew on this bird from YYZ to Fort Lauderdale. Nice, Logan. It's going to be nice and warm down there in Fort Lauderdale for you. That's very cool. Well, thank you for the $5 super chat, Logan. There you go. There's your bird, man. We're taking her back up to the Great White Canadian North. We're taking her up to the Great White Canadian North. It's really kind of bright out here. Man, look at all the clouds. Wee. They just delayed it. It was supposed to be tomorrow. Ooh. Of course. There were updates and issues with Beta 3. See, I don't want to be on the beta and then have an issue come out and that screws up everything. Grainy clouds. There are some grainies when you're yeah. We're starting to see 2020 clouds a little bit here. The super thick overcast is 2020 still. Super thick overcast is 2020 cloud still, but it still looks better than 2020. 2020 is a harder grain. It's this type of cloud. This one and then the real light scattered clouds look like they're from FSX. These look better, but see how much better these look out here as soon as you get away from that. They just need to tweak their thick overcast. Because out here, these look incredible. Let's go outside of the window frame. Yeah, see that to me, that looks incredible right there. 1 or 2 streams today? Will, so what I might do is, because yesterday left such a bad taste in my mouth on that Duke stream, I might do a members only redo of that. But like I said earlier, it's not going to be I'm not going to, there'll be no alert for it. It'll be kind of just a low-key, under the radar. I'm just going to fly it to complete the flight because I'm mad that it happened the way it happened. Or I might not do that, and I might start setting up the Felis, because I want to do a Felis stream. But I'm also limited this week because I'm leaving Thursday, so I'm out of town Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Curious, I got stuck in PBI yesterday when Air Force One arrived. Literally 45-minute ground stop TFR around the airport. Have you ever had that? Oh yeah, dude. Matty K, I've been stopped by the amount of times I've been stopped by Air Force One, I'd have like $20 by now. All the time, dude. Especially East Coast. Air Force One, Air Force Two, Vegas. I got stopped in Vegas for like 2 hours because I think one of the last speaking events Biden had, they pulled him early. So this one was a real mess because normally it's scheduled way out ahead of time, right? And you kind of know what's coming. But I guess one of the last speaking things Biden did, he ended early in Vegas, and they sent him to the airport. So nobody knew it was coming, and it shut down everything. And that one was a real mess because first off, you had bad winds, and the airport was already operating kind of on edge, kind of just not optimized the way traffic was going. And then there was just a complete shutdown for VIP movement. But yeah, man, you always get hosed with those things. Just part of the job. Sometimes it's cool though. You see Air Force. I mean, I never get tired of seeing Air Force One. Air Force One is just—it's a sweet looking airplane, man. Never get tired of seeing it, unless it's go home day and I'm trying to catch my commute. Then I could care less. Did you just copy the airplane folder from 24 for the Duke? Yep. Fernando, that's what I did, man. I installed it into 2020, and I literally copied, pasted. I didn't copy paste. I think I just moved it. Maybe I just copied it over. I don't know if it's still in my 2020 folder or not. I might have just cut it out. Either way, yeah, you could copy it. It's fine. That's the only folder you need. I tried the Salty in 24 today. What a pleasant surprise. Really, logo lights. Really? A Felis Air Force One? Turk, is there an Air Force One livery for the Felis? Dude, that's actually a good idea. Because I've been wanting to fly the Felis. We could do a Felis Air Force One stream. That or that dirty Cathay livery that Flix had in the Discord. Or no, it's New Zealand livery. He had a New Zealand livery and it was all dirty and the dirt falling out, coming down the window streaks. That one looked really good, Flix. Would you recommend different sound pack like FT Sim? Yes, but there's no FT Sim, Jamal, for the 330 right now. I haven't seen FT Sim push anything out for the A330 or for anything for 2024. So I don't know if it's just a different, they can't access to it because it's encrypted, because there's no marketplace or whatever the reason is. He hasn't made anything for 2024. But if he does, it would be a huge help because the 330 sounds they're tough. But it's a beautiful model, man. Look at this wing right here. The engine actually looks really good, minus the fact that they spin the wrong direction. But look at that. I mean, that is a beautiful, high-quality model right there. Nice wing flex out there. So if you had hardcore 330 sounds, imagine if you had a Boris Audio Works pack for this 330. We'd be flying this 330 every day. If I buy you the FS Labs, can you review it? Friction Mafia. It's more about principle for me, man. I have no desire to buy the FS Labs for multiple reasons. It's not just because it's a redundant 321 CEO. It's the reputation. It's the fact that it's only on 2020, and I don't really want to spend any money on 2020. I don't want to fly 2020. It does not excite me at all. Now, as soon as FS Labs says they're bringing it to 24, okay, I'll take a look at it. I'll review it. If they drop a 321 Neo, I'll take a look at it. Of course, I would like to see a high fidelity 321 Neo. Sure. But right now, man, to go back, when's the last time I flew 2020? For Boris Audio on the 737 sound pack? It's pretty much the only reason I've flown 2020. And as each day passes, it's harder and harder to even think about going back. Just look at this right now. Look at this. Snow-covered ground, beautiful clouds, nice bright light up on top here. Wonderful. So you won't fly the 350 in 2020? No, it's coming out for both, right? Don't tell me the 350 is only coming out for 2020. I know there's only a cabin for 2024. That's what's kind of crazy. And to be honest with you, I kind of like it. Finally, 2024 gets something 2020 doesn't get. But there's just once you get past the initial hurdle of the new sim, it's hard to go back, y'all. And I know that it's a big hurdle. Binding, figuring out control bindings, optimizing it. But remember when 2020 first came out, it was also a hurdle. It was a pain. So I just adopted the pain early, got over it, and now the benefits outweigh all the negatives. The stutters on the ground, the default airports, the lack of airplanes. Although we're getting more and more airplanes, which is nice. I just can't go back, man. We need to do a CRJ flight from FSD to DFW. Do we have a CRJ in 24? As soon as we get a CRJ in 24, Josh, we'll do it. With the beta, I was able to get the PMD 7.3 working. Ooh. Now, that would be... I can't wait for that. because that'll be a nice, that would be incredible to have Bore sounds. Ooh, coffee delivery is on our way, so let me turn the seatbelt sign off. Can you pick up outside? Yes. As we settle in, how does my home rig handle 24? It's fine, Josh. I have 24 gigabytes of VRAM, 3090, but I have my settings turned down. I have my settings pretty much medium across the board, maybe some highs here and there. But yeah, I've flown 2024 at home doing career mode, so it's all right. It just, I can tell the difference graphically on this rig though that I can on my home PC. My 20, which is an interesting, I'll let you guys chew on this thought for a second. So my old PC, which I basically the entire channel was on that old PC, I can drastically see a visual difference between 2024 and 2020 because I have to turn 2024 down to perform better. So on my old PC, 2020 looks just as good, if not better in some areas than 24 does, because I have to really turn some stuff down. But on my streaming PC that I use here at the HQ, my 2024 looks better than even my 2020 does all decked out. So there is, it's right now, especially since the optimizations aren't there, it really is hardware dependent on what you have. And that's pretty consistent with what we've been hearing. Some guys are saying my 24 runs way better. Other people say their 24 runs way worse. So it really is kind of system dependent, depending on how much VRAM you have, what GPU you're using, what your settings are. What I will say is interesting is I have the Starlink at home. So it's a much slower connection than my fiber, and I've had zero issues streaming 2024 through Starlink, which, I mean, that's pretty cool. I still don't like the fact that the whole sim is streamed, but the fact that I can stream it on Starlink without issue is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and get some realism up in here. It's too bright. Too bright for me. Where's the sunshades for this guy? We'll go here. Ooh. There you go. I did update the specs. I believe they are updated. I'll take that as a sign to make a con leche. There you go, Nabil. Why are we doing S-turns here? Weather upload, maybe? Got a nice tailwind. Geez, 95 knots? I'll take that. More proof 2024 is still a beta. There's no way they're optimizing when there's no store or other key features. Yeah, Jeff, I mean, for sure. They're running on, they're working on it. And I think either something happened internally that they weren't expecting, because without them having a store, marketplace, they're not making money. So it's not that they don't want to get that marketplace open. I think that they either underestimated what they had to accomplish to get the marketplace up and running, or maybe the community feedback with, mods not being compatible on day one is like really upset a lot of people. So they're really trying to do their best to make sure everything works when it does come out. They're really we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb. But, no marketplace running, there's no money flowing either. So, and then you, as each day, each week that the sim is out with no marketplace, that's the hype and the build of the new sim dwindles, right? So if you had marketplace open on day one, man, they would have probably made a significant amount of money off that. It's a shame the 7.5 will only be for 2020. I know, dude. I know, Dylan R. I'm super excited about that Bluebird 7.5, and to be honest with you, that is the sole reason my 2020 is still on this PC, is because I want to fly the Bluebird 7.5. I think it looks like an incredible project. Obviously, the sounds are great. Boris, we know Boris Audio Works did those, and I've watched the videos, I've watched the updates. I will admit, I thought that project was further back or further behind than what I saw. I mean, they had some systems modeling already done. They had what they showed on their last update was pretty promising in terms of getting closer to release. I still don't think it's going to be within the next few months. I think we're looking maybe post-Expo at the earliest. In my no fact, no insider information, just pure speculation, I don't think we'll really see any release date timetables even until post-Expo. But yeah, I too am disappointed that it's only for 2020. Ramon says I'm locked at 35 FPS, 1080 smooth. I'm on a 555-inch TV. Nice, dude. See, and that's good too. 1080p makes a big difference. All right, I gotta pick up my coffee. You have control. Don't let Nabil touch anything. Let me, you guys want some, what do Canadians listen to? Oh no, I'm opening Chrome. Oh. Well, you're just gonna have to listen to the sounds of the engines. I'll be right back. It's logged me out. I'll be right back. Don't touch anything. You have control. All right, we back. Hold up. Wait a minute. 10 toes in. All right, here we go. We're back. You guys didn't touch anything, I hope. What happens if we touch the red button? All right. Coffee has been secured. Tray tables are coming out. Uh-oh. It's hearing a little ticking sound. Sometimes it's indicative of a impending crash. All right, where were we? I can't do the outside view because the outside view is just, the sounds ruin it for me. Let's enjoy some nice 330 wing flex. Callie Simmer, we are rocking, since everything is closed today for President's Day. Starbucks was open. We are rocking the Honey Almond Flat White. It's my basic white girl drink. Honey Almond Flat White. Looking juice. Well, I think I might have, to get the 8900 XTX when it's released Q2. What's the 8900 XTX? That sounds fancy. What do I have, 7900? I'm not flying anymore if the FAA gets raided and defunded. Who's raiding and defunding the FAA? In New Zealand, the coffee would be punished by getting sent to Australia. It's almond, not almond. I know. My wife hates it when I say that too. All right, I'm going to attempt to turn on Epidemic Sound, my music station here. Let's see if we get a crash. I mean, at some point, we can't be scared of it, right? We gotta get it working. Don't do it. I got it, Mickey. I got it, Josh, rather. What do we got here? Oh, this was the song that was in it. We got intercepted by. We can't listen to that. Let me go here. Let me turn the sound up. Oh. Do you think running a second monitor with 2K will be better? Because right now I run a 1080p monitor that's not G-synced. My main monitor is G-sync, so whenever I switch to my other monitor I get that stutter because it's freaking out. I'm not sure if I should, but I feel like if I get a second 2K monitor, then that's just going to be more performance gone. As soon as you install anything PC related, it's immediately superseded by something new. Oh, M-Medicaid, for sure, dude. That's why future proofing is kind of doesn't really exist, it seems like. I love PMD's feature of letting you install nav data real time. Positive rate, that is true. I like that as well, positive rate. That's this aggressive bank angle. Goodness, Canadian. Was Canadian flying this thing? Canadian, did you just change your emoji thing, your little leaf? I used to see you in red, now you're in black. You should mimic the Canadian Air Canada, dude. You should have a black circle with a red maple leaf. So you can mimic Air Canada. Any chance on the Duke you'll take in for a Navy pattern? Duke streams, you'll take it in for a Navy pattern. Break midfield 210 and crank around and plan it. Daniel, we could probably do that in the turbine Duke. I'm really trying to minimize flying the Duke during the week because we saved that for Tour de Americas. But I'm really missing that turbine Duke right about now. I could fly that thing. I could fly the Dukes every day, man. There's just so much to do. The flying. I mean, for those of you that watched the stream yesterday before it crashed, that was a 3-hour flight, and I felt like I was constantly busy. We were KNS 80, tuning ID VORs, new nav radio, new this, new that. Then ATC came online. We had to pull power back. We had to re-lean for optimum peak and all this. It was just, there's just so much to do in those piston airplanes. I love it, man. I love it. How do you like the old bluish Canada air livery, or Air Canada? Oh, you mean like the toothpaste looking one? It's not bad. That one's a classic for me, though. That's what I remember. Oh, see, look, I'm trying to turn down the volume over here. We got another stutter. The toothpaste one. The Eurofighter was epic. Yeah. Turbine Duke. What's up, Sharp? Flew Telluride to Mammoth Lakes yesterday. Nice. So, I'm going to be honest with you, Sharp. Since I sold my NVIDIA card for $1,400, there is a particular piece of hardware that mimics the Turbine Duke throttle quadrant very well. I may invest it there. Because I love the Turbine Duke so much, man. Did you install 24 on Steam or Microsoft? Shakovic, this is the Microsoft Store version of the sim. I agree, dude. I think the toothpaste livery was just, it's iconic. It looked like a cold Canadian airplane, you know? This one just looks like a Delta wannabe, you know? But it doesn't look bad. It's just I mean, come on. Black and red with an eyeliner. Super mid. Toothpaste looks great on the triple and that's it. Nah, Canadian. Toothpaste on the 321. FSX So I think one of the first liveries when I first started downloading liveries for FSX, I think one of the first ones that was available was a default A321 and toothpaste livery. And I was flying the toothpaste 321 to, I don't know what airport it is, but it's wherever Chateau de Lake Louise is, wherever the closest main airport to there is, because I used to go snowboarding every year. And we'd go up all over Canada. We do over the States too. And then, but one of my best trips was up there at Chateau de Lake Louise, something like that. I think I'm saying that right. But we took a 321 toothpaste livery from SFO. So I flew Airways to SFO, and then we got on Air Canada up there. Calgary. I think it was Calgary. Yeah. And so it was so cool because I had the toothpaste livery in FSX. So I would do the same flight in FSX. I'm so disappointed in the FSS. The 175 has so much potential, and it was taking so long to update the current model. John G, I know, man. A lot of people are getting frustrated. I think there's just so much going on. You have airplanes that are not finished for 2020, and then you have a new sim come out, and what is working in 20 doesn't work in 2024 necessarily quite right. So now the devs are kind of split. Do we finish 2020 or do we commit to 2024? And obviously, as a simmer and a consumer, you want everything to be done on whatever platform it is that you're flying. But you have to look at it from a business perspective. If 2024 is going to drive the revenue, then it would be better to divert resources to finishing or getting something out on 24 to generate more revenue, right? But that doesn't necessarily make everybody happy. So it really depends on the scale of the company. Like, I think PMDG, honestly, PMDG is doing a really good job at managing the crossover. I know they didn't have access to the beta or the SDK to work ahead of time to get it for 2024. So they've kept pretty low profile. They pushed out their 777 as promised for 2020. And it's been pretty quiet. You know, I think the fact that people are getting their airplanes to work in 2024 on the beta now leads me to believe that they're probably getting closer to officially supporting some of their stuff in 24. But it's all about resource allocation, and some companies can do it, some can't. Some are just 1 or 2, 3 people, you know. What was my favorite FSX airplane? My favorite FSX airplane. Man, there's too many. I mean, I really love the PMDG J40 with the Jetstream. I flew the Jetstream a ton. The PMDG 7.4. I would say it probably had to be one of the PMDG airplanes. I flew the FS Labs Airbus, but I when that came out for FSX, I was my simming had really gone down in terms of how much I was simming. That's probably one of the PMDGs or the Level D76. Dude, the Level D76 was so good, Diabetic Lad. I had so much fun with some of the freeware airplanes too. Like, there was a Citation 10 mod, I think, that I had that was great. They're like the Posky stuff, the 7.5. Like, I love the 7.5. The only reason I didn't like the 7.5 from Captain because I had 0 frames with it. So when Quality Wing 7.5 came out, I really enjoyed that, but that also was, I started really, my FSX simming kind of was tapering down a little bit when the Quality Wing 7.5 was out. I did fly it a lot though. But that 7.4-400 was so hard to put down, man, the PMDG one. Real Air Duke, that was great. Real Air Duke was great. Yep, I flew the Real Air Duke. Dornier 27, I don't think I had that one, Highball. Dream Fleet 73. Oh, you know what? I also really liked in FSX was the... What was it? Was it the Project Wilco? The Classic 737s. Classic 737. Whoever made that, I think I want to say it was a Wilco. Project Wilco something. Wilco something made a Classic 737 that I really liked a lot too. So many good, so many good memories. FSX, that's like the nostalgia, right? Man, Diabetic Lad's flying the Captain Sim 737-200. And, dude, that cockpit that he posted in the Discord, honestly, it looks acceptable by today's standards of X-Plane, which is incredible to think about considering the time gap. That when photorealistic textures were a big deal, if it was done right, I mean, it still carries its own weight. You know, if you had photorealistic textures done right, it looked really good, and it still looks good today, to be honest with you. Milviz, yeah. Oh, it's the Milviz. Okay, yeah, Milviz. For 2010. Think about that. 15 years ago. That airplane came out 15 years ago, Diabetic Lad. And you think about how technology is advanced, how our sim is advanced over 15 years. And to be quite honest, within the last 5 years, it really has taken off because we kind of were in this lull with X-Plane. And this is not a knock on X-Plane. I enjoyed the heck out of X-Plane. I flew X-Plane 10 a little bit, flew X-Plane 11 mostly. But there was really no like groundbreaking new next generation of sim, right? But it still looked good. And then Microsoft came to the scene, and that really blew the lid off of what I thought was possible in sims. Quality Wing 7.5. Yeah, dude. Canadian Quality Wing 7.5 is my favorite. We are going to recreate the Quality Wing 757 best video on YouTube I ever watched. And it's going to be American Bare Metal 75200 Miami to Toncontin. Real time, first flight. All I'm going to do is bind views. I'm not even going to do a test flight. We're just going to bind views and go live on release day. 2D panels were nice. I like the 2D. I flew the 7.8 just briefly. The 7.8 was kind of mid to me as well. High baller. I never, maybe it's just a personal thing. I don't think I ever really personally connected with a 787. I know some people did. One of my students, my first student actually, one of my first students that I had as an instructor, he was all about the 787. He would wear 787 lanyards to the flight school. He knew everything there was to know about the 787. In love with it. I just never, I don't know, just never clicked. Me and the 7.8 just never clicked. Very complex and tricky to simulate. Yeah, I believe it. And yeah, I'm not saying that it's not complex. I'm just saying in my personal taste is like take it or leave it. You know, give me a 7.5, 7.6 over a 7.8 any day of the week. Yeah, Dougal, the level D 7.6 was that was hardcore. I remember being in college and flying the level D 767 on my laptop while in class. Probably not the best thing to do, but I did. I actually used, I remember, so I had an aviation class. Well, I had a lot of aviation classes. But we were doing weight and balance, and they were teaching weight and balance, and I was practicing weight and balance with the level D 767 stuff. Wrong side in the house, my man. How you doing, wrong side? Fly AA metal in and out of Jackson Hole. We all know I'm honky for the hole. I know, dude. You and Jackson Hole are like XP72 in Atlanta. If wrong side's streaming, he's going to Jackson Hole. XP's probably going in or out of Atlanta, and Full Flap Sim is probably going out of Vegas. Did I fly with the arrow keys in class? Yeah, I did. And actually, Jeremy, Actually, I did, but in that particular class for the memory that I'm coming back, we actually had, you could bring a side stick to class because there was software that we were running on our computers as well. That was a flight, I say a flight simulator. It was a proprietary piece of software for the school for that class, but if you had a USB joystick, you could bring it and manipulate the aircraft in that sim. I think that was for aerodynamics or something. So I had my SATEC whatever was before the X, I think it was X52 maybe? Was that their first one? One of the original SATEC side sticks. I had that in class. So we were supposed to do other things, but I had the level D on in the background. Going up north tomorrow, 6 hours block time in the 1900D. Looking forward to it. 6 hours in a 1900D. Whew, Canadian. Hope you got some noise canceling. Got your Bose A20s on, man. Enjoy it. I'll live vicariously through you, man. I watched one of my on my laptop. I was going through my old laptop. I found some old videos of me flying the PT6s. I got a video of me doing a go around. I totally botched the go around. I can't remember what the sequence was. It supposed to be gear then flaps or flaps then gear. Whatever I did it at a sequence so the gear horn was going off. It's like, what an idiot. TOD flicks, we're probably getting close. Get close, my man. We are 40 miles from TOD. But it's an Airbus flick, so all we got to do is just put the bottom altitude in and start down. Let's see, 24. This looks like the wrong star. I'm going to set 9,000 for now. Oh, I was kind of vibing with that song, though. 9,000 is set. We'll have to pull out the charts and start planning. The approach. We are 163 miles out. So let me go over here. Stutter is going to happen. Oh, maybe not because I have it on this screen. All right. We were able to minimize Chrome without crashing. Now let's go ahead and turn up the sim sounds. Sim sounds are back up. Let's take a look at our box here. ILS 24 left. Let's go back to our charts. I don't want to do that. Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Trudeau, isn't he like a dictator or something? Alright, 24 left is in the box. 24 left. The star, we're on the Hobbs? Really? I feel like that's the wrong direction. Oh, I guess not. And they're going to vector me over to 24 left. Alright, so the bottom altitude is going to be Maxod at 3,000 feet. The approach minimums will be 320. So let's put 320 in here. 320 in the barrel. Let's take a look at the weather. 24 right is the best choice. And we'll go with 24 left. Nobody's online. Just because I don't want to change it in the box, because I don't trust it. 6 miles, light snow, broken at 4,000, gusting 28. What? On Tarnation? Who decided to fly here? Winds are 270 at 2.2. Goodness. Temperature is, what is the temp in this METAR format? Am I going blind? Where is the temp? Well, that's the TAF. That's why it's not there. I is real pilot. Minus 12. QNH. Ooh, variable visibility 1/2 to 2.5. 2958. Now, this is why I don't live in Canada. Alright, that is set up. TOD is set up. 2958 is the meter. We'll get our LS push buttons on. A faker piloto. What'd I say the bottom was? 3,000? 3,000 is set. No terrain required. And we are just about to start down at 5 prior, which is coming up right about meow. Yesterday, wrong side sim made me go around on a shared flight. What? Granted, I forgot about gear and flaps. Oh, Callie Simmer. Man, wrong side, you should have just let her land with the gear and flaps up. That would have been spicy. That's too funny. Do I fly Baltimore in real life much? Yeah, well, I used to, man. When I was Atlanta-based, I feel like every freaking trip I did, I went to BWI. My next trip, let me see if I'm going to Baltimore.
Alpha Lima automated weather observation.
Oh, we're not going to listen to that. My next trip, no, I got Chicago. Oh, Joe Plains Tower Ray, I'm coming to Chicago, man.
Sky condition. Few clouds, a 2,700 FT ceiling, 4,000 foot overcast. Temperature. 11C dew point. 18C altimeter.
22.8 is the ATIS. Nice. Tower Ray, I'm actually going to Chicago. Let's see. Friday, and it's supposed to snow. So if you're working, but I come in late though, and then I leave in the morning on Saturday. Well, I live midday on Saturday. Hopefully I don't have to get de-iced. Hopefully that plane's coming in from somewhere. Man, this is a trip I really don't want to do. 18 degrees and 11 degrees and 20 degrees. Come back to DFW, 72 degrees. Dougal says DMV the 180. All right, Dougal, I will check it out, my man. Thank you. I'm not going to check it out right now, Dougal, considering Chrome's Chrome's reputation with with my sim. But thank you, man. Have I been to Europe in real life? I have, yes. A long time ago, though. Been a while. I didn't bid this trip, Key 6. This was one of those trips that got assigned to me. Well, my bid said, oh, I don't care, and it gave me this trip. I could drop it. I'm thinking about dropping it. I'm really thinking about dropping it. I have until tomorrow at noon to drop it. Problem is, it pays pretty good. But it's a long 3-day, man. It's basically a 4-day trip because I leave the first day, 5:15 or report time. So that means I have to get up, let's see, 5:15, 4:15, 3:45 is when I have to leave my house. So I can get ready in 45 minutes. So I got to get up at 3 a.m. on Thursday, right? So gone the whole first day, second day. The last day, I don't get back to DFW until midnight. So it's essentially like a 4-day trip. Super mid. Might drop it. You guys are making me want to drop it the more I think about it. How many sectors in a day? Oh, it just depends, man. My next trip for reference, I think I'm 2, 2, and 2 on this one. Yeah, 2, 2, and 2. 2 legs each day. Short legs, 243, 250. Miami to O'Hare, that's a longer one. That's 330. And back to Dallas is 323, so a couple of flights get close to that 3-hour mark. That's pretty much my limit. Wrong side says, is there some funkiness with the RNF? Oh, you know what? You said something about that when you would text me that. I was occupado with something else, my man. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to get back. You said RNAV or the Raven 715 right working with the DO put an auto uplink to make crew aware. What's going on with it? So the only thing I know, wrong side, about Baltimore, we used to always have a problem with the vertical nav just saying no thank you. So we would come down the Raven 6 at the time. Raven 6, I can't remember the runway transition, but it would basically yeet the altitude restriction because there was 2 altitudes, or there was 2 hard altitudes that were the same, and it was causing it to go into vertical speed, and guys were violating the second fix. But that I thought had been fixed because I didn't see a memo on that for a while. I don't know if that's similar to what you're talking about now, but we used to have an alert for the Raven 6 arrival for that very reason. It would triple chirp off and go vertical speed, and you'd blast through that second fix. V1, the only pilot who doesn't fly planes. What happens if you're late on report time? You get a, well, it depends on how late. So, if you no-show, you get 1. That would be considered you'd get an investigation on why you no-showed. If you get 2 no-shows, you're gone. You're fired. Most likely. So, yeah. It's such a point to like not miss your showtime that I don't sleep the night before when they're early. That's why I don't like those super early report times, because I'm going to be so paranoid that I'm going to sleep through my alarm that I won't sleep at all that night. So I'll set 5 alarms on my iPhone. I'll set up my backup alarm, and then I will wake up every hour, panic that I've slept through my alarm clock, because you don't want to be late. You just don't do it. Now, if you're late for extenuating circumstances, like I had a flat one time, well, what are you going to do? Like I called scheduling, I'm like, look, I'm trying to get to work, I have a flat tire, I'm going to be late. You know, they obviously are humans, they understand that, but it's just something you don't do. They want to treat you like an adult, you got to act like an adult. I usually arrive 30 minutes before. Yeah, Canadian. So what I do is I have it down to a system, right? If I leave an hour 30 prior, that gives me enough time to get to the airport with traffic and get a coffee or use the bathroom for PDP. So that's my standard. It seems to work. I got it down to clockwork. If there's no traffic, I'll get there early. No big deal. I'll take pictures of the heavies, make a shorts video. If there's traffic, I got a PDP. I'm on time. Worst case scenario, I may be 5 minutes late. If traffic's really bad, 10 minutes late. But at that point, you know, if it's going to be just, 10, 15 minutes, I'll just message the FO and be like, hey, man, I'm here. I'll be there at this point or whatever. So my paranoia from missing showtime started when I was an FO at the regionals. So I was in Pittsburgh. And when we stayed at Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh overnight, we stayed 40 minutes away from the airport with no traffic. So I was... What? I've got control. What is going on here, brothers? Let's go ahead and go open DC. Let's... What? What do we got going on here? Like a wind shift or something? Thrust idle, open descent. Hold on, we gotta fix this. We got a mess. Thrust idle, open descent 16,000, redirect to Habs. What do we got going on here? Alright, thrust idle, open descent, we're navin, at or below 16. That may not work. Let's just select speed because she seems to be a little bit stressed out about that. Let's set 310. Or thrust idling. We'll get the speed brake out. Who touched something? Nabil? Must have been Canadian. He's up here messing with something with his fancy sunglasses. Now we got to catch up to this. Dive, dive, dive. Wrong side says the approach via for 15 right is the second to last lay on the fix our Raven 7. The plane interprets it as wanting it. The IAF has the desired approach via and auto files it in the FMGC and links up the entire routing. But the star calls for radar vectors. If it's missed, the plane will turn towards the crosswind. Oh, yeah. So, wrong side. That's the same thing with Vegas. Bourbon. The bourbon arrival into Vegas. Cocktail transition or bourbon transition. Cocktail arrival, bourbon transition, I think is what it is. But that's a pilot issue. So pilots should know that. We have it even says in our training stuff, it's like if you have an arrival that's linked, you need to put a disco in the arrival. You manually input a disco so you don't turn on that transition. Guys were doing that in Vegas all the time. So I wonder if we need another note in our 10.9 pages, or not our 10.9, our company pages, wrong side, for that, if anything, because we used to have that for, like I said, for Vegas. We had a company note. Our mini podcast has been disrupted. I'll tell that later on the members only Duke redo stream. Gosh, it makes me so mad that sim crashed yesterday. We have to do it. And here's the thing, I know how to change the Hobbs time, so I could add the Hobbs time back, but I just want to do the flight again. Let's just do the flight. Do it members only. What the heck? Descent rate, 3,800 feet per minute, baby. We are cooking with gas now. We're trying to catch up. We said 3,000 was the min, so I'll set 3 for right now. I know, Zippy, no, the big radio's got me, and I like that rule that we have, Zippy, because that adds for that. So I'm just going to do it for my own taste, but I like the rule that we added, Zippy. So as long as we've got a radio on the mission with us, and the sim crashes, we don't have to restart. Because they're carrying fuel and parts. But because that flight leg was so long, I kind of want the engine accumulation time. All right, 2958 is set. 2958 is set. We're still catching up to the vertical path. We're still riding the speed brake. Dive, dive. Yeah, we are looking at uplink read file 1010. Uplink will be the quickest to publish. EMP number, Captain missed putting in the discount. Uh-oh. Ooh. 59. Ooh. Uh-oh. That's never good. Look, I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback because I'm sure, you know, glass house situation, right? But yeah, that's one thing I always brief that. We talked about briefs on our last stream, keeping them short to the point. But that's one thing I will brief too is if the star links the transition, put a disco in there. Same for even like Fort Lauderdale, man, because Fort Lauderdale technically have different transitions for 10 left, 10 right. So Fort Lauderdale is another one. All right, we got to slow up. We're catching our vertical descent path now. We can slow 250. Rohan, welcome to Private Pilot, my friend. Glad to have you on board. All right, we're slowing to 250. Lights are coming on. What's the CTAF for this place? We don't do CTAF in Canada, do we? Speed limit exceeded. Nah, you're fine. Oh, it is exceeded. It's Canadian airspace. Oh my gosh, it's still there. What's this? Is there a CTAF for this place? Let's see. I got to stutter my sim because I got to click over here. .CTAF CYUL. We've got 119er decimal 9er. CTAF is in Canada now? Dude, why are we doing this? Do people actually like this? Come on, man. This is such an unnecessary grievance. I need to file a grievance. Montreal traffic, Delta 35, correction, Air Canada 357 heavy out of 8,900 for 3,000. We're set up for the ILS 24 left, Montreal traffic. Do I call it Montreal traffic or I just call it Trudeau traffic? Or should I say dictator traffic? Duke heads are about to storm Vancouver Center again. CTAF great in theory only. Now we have some on Unicom and some on CTAF. I agree, Dougal. I think that you should only use a CTAF if there's a published CTAF frequency on your 10.9 chart. That would be my workaround. So if you look at the 10.9, let's go to charts, taxi, 10.9. No published CTAF. No CTAF required. You stay on 22.8. Stay on 22.8. If you're going into a small podunk airport that has a different CTAF, then you tune in that CTAF frequency. That way everybody knows when to use it or not. Man, the sounds on this are super game breaking, aren't they? I feel like they're worse on this stream than they were on the last one. Fritz says that's worse than now. Really? I don't know, man. Or maybe just make it CTAF only for, I was going to say for Class Bravo airports. I don't know, man. I just think, it's not like there's enough traffic to where it's unintelligible. In real world CTAFs, you hear aircraft from other airports. That's why you are taught to make proper radio calls saying, Montreal traffic, Air Canada 357, blah, 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 blah. And the transmission with Montreal traffic. That way, if I'm flying into Buffalo and I hear somebody saying Montreal, even though I don't think you hear them that far apart, you know, okay, well, as soon as he says Montreal traffic, I can ignore the rest of his transmission because I'm landing in Buffalo. Yeah, Canadian, that's why I took that back, the Class B airport situation. That's why, yeah, that wouldn't quite work. If towers closed, treat it as CTAF. That's what happens with part-time towers IRL. I don't know, man. I just don't think. I don't think the frequency congestion is bad enough to warrant all of this. I think it should all be 22.8. Unless maybe there. Well, yeah, I was gonna say if there's an event on, but if there's an event on, then the frequencies are online, right? I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I don't have. I guess I don't have a better solution other than just go back to the old way, but I would rather them do trial and error on ramp controls. Or what you could do is go 22.8 for all airborne traffic, 21.8 for all ground traffic. There you go. Now you've split everybody up so you don't hear people taxiing. I don't know. All I know is we're at F speed, so let's go ahead and select flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Flap sounds have left the building.
Montreal traffic.
Ooh, I didn't know Flix was flying this.
Base runway 24
I didn't know we had a Flix out here. Oh, look at all the snow down there. Okay, this is awesome. Let's. This is why we fly 2024, y'all. We're 210 on the speed. Look at that. Looks like it's clearing up though, but you could see it's been recently snowed on. He is in the MD-11. Oh, I didn't know he was the MD-11. Hey, American, what's your aircraft type? Ah, my push-to-talk stopped working. I gotta restart.
Mike, we're in an MD-11 passenger. Yeah, it flies extraordinarily well.
So this is somebody posted in the Discord about this. This is frustrating. I don't know why vPilot has started doing this. I gotta restart my vPilot. My push-to-talk app, or my push-to-talk just stops registering. I don't know why. I'm reconnecting here on vPilot. There we go. But yeah, somebody posted that in the Discord about Moza, and I say you're not alone because I've witnessed it too now a couple times. It's something that's happening I think on 24. I don't think this used to happen to me on 2020, and I don't know why that would make any difference. But I've noticed it twice now in 2024. After a certain period of time, it just stops registering my push-to-talk. And then if I restart it, it works just fine. Moza base dead to me. Flaps 2. Would Moza rudders be a good idea? Friction Mafia, I really am. I'm kind of neutral on force feedback rudders. The only reason why I would say force feedback rudders would be really beneficial is if you are someone who is doing extensive. We can get the NIS on. Is doing extensive single engine practice in pistons and high performance twins, whether it's turboprop or whatever. Because you really, even in the Airbus, you lose an engine. You're not. Yes, you got to smash on the rudder and you trim it out, but I don't really see where a force feedback rudder is going to be super beneficial to outweigh the cost of investment. But like I said, if you're exclusively doing high performance propeller training, then it may be beneficial to you. Or helicopters. Yeah, Paulo's got a good point. Or helicopters, absolutely. Absolutely. Helicopters would be a big one. Montreal traffic, Air Canada 357 heavy. We're turning right base for 24 left. Montreal traffic. All right, we'll make it a 120. We'll tighten it up. We're 180. Let's come down here. We'll activate and confirm the approach phase. 139 on the V app. I need to get flight recorder going and cue the stutter. As I click off here, flight recorder is booting up. Keep coming around 150. All right, flight recorder is recording and on. All right, we can focus now. We're at 3,000. Let's go ahead and make it a right turn now. 190. Make it 200 for the win. Arm the approach. AP2. Glide slope blue, lope blue, Cat 3 dual. Autopilot 1 plus 2. 200 on the heading might be a little bit tight. Let's see here. With that wind, I need Lauren to give me a vector. Let's make it 210. Oh, that'll still be too much. 220. This is why I'm not a controller. .42 knot crosswind here on this base turn. That should work out just fine. 235. Should be less than 15 degrees, but I'm modding my rotor with FFB. Biggest reason to do it for me is that I can switch between aircraft and helos without having to muck around with physical spring. Yes, Will H, that is nice. Being able to do a profile, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Being able to switch profiles, like for instance, on my Moza side stick here between helos or Vision Jet or Airbus, absolutely, man. So I could see the, I could see the benefit for that. Or DCS. If you're a DCS flyer and you fly warbirds and helicopters, then absolutely. All right. Cam's coming up. Recording is on. We're 180. We're IMC. We'll watch the replay, so we'll just fly this because this is going to be big time. We do have a crosswind. Let's go auto brakes low on this one. Trudeau traffic, Canada 357 heavy, turn in final 24 left, just outside of Sloka for the ILS 24 left, Montreal traffic. I'm a big DCS guy. Oh, yeah, then, Will, yeah, you're going to love that, man. DCS has ruined me for helicopters. That's why I can't fly helos on Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, the Huey that I bought for, what is it, like $10 or $15 in 2020 on the Flight Sim TO, I mean, it was pretty nice. Great sounds. But once you fly helos in DCS, nothing has come close. Nothing has come close. Nabil, I'll make sure it's a runway. Oh yeah, the Rhino. Yep. I was in line for the Rhino forever. It came up. Is it the Rhino? Whichever the one that guy makes. He has the Discord thing. I think maybe it's the Rhino. But yeah, then I got the Moza, so I turned down my ticket, my turn. Does your tiller have that real feeling? What do you mean? Feels pretty dang good. Alright, 3,000 feet. Localizer is captured. Glide slope is star, which it shouldn't be. Because we have not captured. I keep seeing a flicker up here. What does it say? I'm trying to say my throttles are not quite in the detent. My throttles are in the detent. 42 knots, quartering headwind now. It's a long replay. I probably shouldn't have replayed it. Do you use rudders on approach in the airliners? No. Not really. You'll use it to decrab. That's about it.
Vector Canada 331 is approximately 25 miles to the
Oh, we're far out, man.
west.
Maybe I should stop the recording.
Montreal, anticipating full
I guess I'll leave it.
runway 24 right.
Here comes the glide slope. I don't know why it's
traffic American 69
zero there.
vacated runway 24 right.
I hope he hasn't had the WASM bug. We're about to find out. Glide slope's moving, though, so I don't think that's a WASM bug. If we get a WASM crash, iniBuilds is dead to me. Don't Harrison Ford the landing. Alright, we should have glide slope star. Yep, it just was interesting there. So glide slope star, go around altitude set, 3,000 is bleh. We'll wait till actually the 330 is pretty slow to configure. There's glide slope. Let's go manage speed, gear down, speed brakes arm. Chicagoland. Oh, of course, dude. I can't wait for the 350. I'm super excited about that 350. I think that's going to be the next standard. Well, it's going to be the first standard of payware dedicated to 24 that we've seen. And so they have an opportunity to set the bar. And I'm hoping it's as good as what we've seen already, which it appears to look pretty good. VFE next, -10, flaps 3. And we're below the next one. Let's just go flaps full from back here. I do like the flap on this 330. Looks good. It is 2020 and 24 Zippy. Yes, it is on for both sims. But it's really the first one built for 24. All right, Ground Speed Mini is working hard today. Look at that. 126, 156 tasks for 160. Our VAP is like 130 something, 139. So Ground Speed Mini is doing some work. Let's do a forward call there. Maybe get the flight attendants to sit down. All right, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust, speed, auto brakes are low. ECAM memo, landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. Cabin ready, it's flashing. We're looking good. Man, this is almost want to auto land. Oh, I think we're outside the auto land limitation. Look at that. Guys, if you like this stuff, make sure you do hit that like button for me. We had an unforgiving crash yesterday of the sim, so you could really help us out by smashing that like button, making me feel better about today's flight. Oscar, I'm not saying it, Oscar. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it, then Bill. 1,000 feet stable, we are clear to land. Look at this crab, though. This actually, maybe I should have practiced this landing first here. Ground speed mini's coming back. You see our VAP, our magenta speed target, is working its way back. Auto land. No, I really want to try to land it. It's quite bumpy, though. What's our minimums? 320?
500.
Still don't see anything.
400.
Runway. Jeez. All right, autopilot's coming off.
100 above.
Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Look at this. This might be a little bit spicy.
100.
Good night. I don't feel prepared for this.
50.
Not yet.
20. 10.
That was hard. That was hard. Reverse green. I accidentally clicked off the auto brakes. I did not want to go around. We call that firm with positive contact. Things blood in my mouth. Oh my gosh. I started D-crab way too early. I don't know how to fly the 330, man. Consult other 330 professional pilots on YouTube. All right, we'll go ahead and clear here. I mean, we just landed in a blizzard. Where's the terminal? I need progressive taxi to the terminal area. Wow. I think the terminal's right up here. Yeah, I rounded out too early. Man, I wish we took the Fenix in here. It's literally a blizzard. Is that the terminal up there? I felt the side loading on the mains from here. I don't know if we were that side loaded. I think we were just really firm. I don't use a gaming chair at Microsoft Nerd. I just use a regular office chair. That's why I can't press my rudders fully, because I slide backwards. Thank you for the $5 Super Chat, Phil. Appreciate you. Round of applause for making it. We're crossing a runway. I don't think anybody's landing on this one. Or approach end here. Need tactical flip-flops. I know, but it's too cold for flip-flops. Yeah, the sounds kind of kill it for me. Man, that's unfortunate.
331, turning right base, or runway 2.
Because I like the option to fly the 330 here. I'm leaving all the lights on because I just want to look at the replay. But the sounds are kind of kill it for me, you know? Welcome to Chateau de Montreal Airport. We're just gonna park here. I'm not sure where those lines don't match up where they should be anyway. So, all right, let's take a look at that replay. See how hard it actually was. Let's go to replay cam. I'll disconnect from Aveo Premium. Run it forward here.
1,000.
Resume. Please don't crash. That's weird. It's not letting me pause it and zoom it forward. Is it really going to make us run the whole... Well, that's kind of lame. We got to watch the whole thing. Well, all right. I can't run it forward and then play it. So we're going to watch the whole replay. You're going to watch it by yourselves. I'm going to end up there. You guys can enjoy the replay. I'll get the sail going. Turning base to final. Should be about 2 minutes or so. Flight recorder is bugged. No, it's not the default one. It's my 2021 that I'm using in 2024. It's never done this before. It's probably just a fluke thing, or like maybe an iniBuilds thing. I don't think it's an iniBuilds thing because it worked fine on our last iniBuilds stream, so it might just be a fluke little bug with this recording because it was so long. But anyway, we'll watch the Smasher together, but I'm going to sign off early so I don't have to defend myself. You guys can judge my landing on that one. I can guarantee you it was pretty firm. I decrabbed too early, and yeah. Now, what was nice is we were able to maintain directional control upon touchdown. You can't do that in 2020. I think there was a little upwind drifting, but not much. It's definitely improved over 2020, but the upwind drift was still there. But like I said, it was definitely manageable. I think we actually maintained centerline pretty good, considering with 24 knot crosswind. So, what's worse, the takeoff or the landing? You know, every time I try to get hardcore on the 330 stream, it always feels like something has to happen. Whether the YouTube ingest server craps out and then kind of kills the mood, or we've got engines spinning the wrong way, we've got bridges that we're taxiing over, and then we just take off wrong not on runway. So, oh well. I'm glad we at least were able to complete the flight without having to crash. So, enjoy the landing. I will see you all later. If you're a member, make sure you're snooping around the channel to see if I go live on a members-only Duke rerun of last night's issue. All right. Until then, we'll be back tomorrow with probably the Fenix. We haven't flown the Fenix with the new card yet, so we're going to take the Fenix out on the AMD card to see how well optimized it is, see how buttery it is, maybe 321 ops. So it should be fun. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Soup!
1000. $500. $200.
That wasn't as bad. Give me a break. I was too aggressive with the decrab though. You see this? Oh, now it's working. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Come on now. Give me a break. Get out of here. This is just like Key 6 landing on a good day and clear, calm winds. I was just too early. See, I was too early. But, I mean, that's Key 6 landing on a good day, and that's what Canadian does every day. Look at that center line. Canadian wish he could land on a center line like that. Yeah, I drifted a little bit into the wind. Just a little bit. We'll see here. So I decrab. But you see, look. You see how that right wing comes up, though? That's good. That's actually, that's how that should happen. Because that wind is coming from the right. So that wing should start to lift up. That's why you need to keep right wing down. See, I was too early. I would have been perfect. But too early. Get that wing down. And then center line, though. Try maintaining center line in 24 knot crosswind in 2020. It ain't going to happen. You're not doing that. I promise you. Does it count as 1 or 2? It counts as I'm out of here. Get out of here, Adam. Go buy a mouth guard. You'll be fine. You survived. All right, I'm out. Gosh, the sounds are so bad that I don't think we can fly this again until we get sound pack. This is... Bleh. Tower at Ray, are you going to be in Chicago Saturday? I'll be there Saturday. I come in Friday night late. See ya. Callie Simmer, I just saw your alert. Callie Simmer, you earned a Cafe Con Leche paycheck on that one. Congrats, we made it in one piece with that kind of weather. Hey, Callie Simmer, I don't know why the alert box doesn't work. I don't know why, Callie Simmer. I'm sorry. I appreciate the $10 bank angle check. I got my Cafe Con Leche / vanilla flat white right here next to me. So, Callie, I can't forget your alert. Appreciate you. Maddie K, also missed your $2 super chat saying brace. Appreciate both y'all. Hopefully I'll see y'all live here at a members only stream in just a little bit. We'll see if I rage quit and just go home. All right. So. Uh-oh. I stopped the replay mid-landing.